Oh, yes, here we are. Radio Daybreak.
Yes.
With not a business of the week. Maybe it could be. Because this thing brings a lot of business to Daybreak.
Yeah, it does.
But this is definitely one of the innovators of Daybreak.
Completely. We're going to throw that out there.
Big time. And we're sitting here with the Starling family.
Yes.
Starling family?
Yes.
Nikki, Lance?
Yeah.
And if you don't know, people out there are like, who is this?
They know.
They know
You
because...
just don't know, you know.
Exactly. You've seen their house. No, I thought you said it was the up house. So when I got here,
No.
I was like,
Is
what's that?
there even an up house?
There is in Harriman, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I was expecting the little old man from the movie.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Dr. Starling does not really fit that.
No, so when he came in,
You know, we could do that one year.
Oh.
We could dress him as
We're
the
giving him
old man.
ideas.
I like that. But it's the upside down house,
That's
which is the
right.
Stranger Things house. That's what you guys have
They are
done.
the Halloween house that's made national news. We were just talking a little bit before this about all the reporters coming up and getting the interview.
Yeah.
But here we are, Radio Daybreak, caught up
Caught
with
up
the
with-
Starling.
And you know what? Like, I knew about this house before I even got to Utah. I knew about this house when I was still living in LA. Because how many years has it been going?
4 or
I
5.
think 5.
See,
5 years.
Yeah.
I knew about it before we got here.
Yeah.
And we got here and I was like, I gotta see this thing.
Should we tell him?
Tell them.
Should we tell him the first episode of when Radio
We were out
Daybreak-
there. We were out there. Very first episode. That's an awful episode. Don't go listen to that one.
Oh, wait, and you came by the house?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
We weren't out in the yard waiting for an interview. We were just
Oh,
screaming.
yeah, we love it. It's every day of the month. People are on the porch and... we love-
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You get it year round.
Well, every single day of the month, yeah. Like, because we start setting up in September.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh,
so
okay.
everyone kind of like anticipates, and they start driving by,
Yeah.
and then even when we're like still setting up, they're like on the porch.
Oh my gosh.
But
We
it's
love it.
crazy. So
So you like, that's a little kind of intimidating. I don't know if intimidating is the right word, but like when somebody comes to my door and I don't know who it is, who's at my door?
yeah, turn the lights off. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people do say like how weird they think it is. Like, oh, isn't that weird having people just like up on your porch? And
it.
we don't think it's weird. But they have walked in our house like many times.
No.
A few times.
Yeah,
It's mostly little kids thinking because the front
Yeah.
of the house is just so immaculate.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they think it's
the
like
door looks inviting, like, oh, the upside down is in there, and we're in there just playing a board game, like,
Just living. Just
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just living the
yeah.
life.
They're expecting to see Winona Ryder sitting in there.
yeah.
Like, but that's how good this house looks. It looks
so
like
good.
the set from the show, from the TV show. Like, it's insane. So, I mean, you gotta.
If you haven't seen it, you can Google these two. So
Like I said,
Nikki and Lance Starling and the Upside Down.
I knew about
Stranger Things house.
I knew about this when I still lived in LA, and that just already says something to put Daybreak.
On the map.
Basically, you did.
Yeah.
Like, you did do that. For me to know about that before I got here, but I got to ask you the big question: why? Why?
You know, it's funny because people probably think that we're like huge super fans of the show,
Yeah.
which like we've seen it obviously. Well, the first year he had not seen
Lance
it.
has not, I heard.
Wow.
I've seen some.
He had seen like an
I saw the
episode or two.
first
I think
three
he
Knew what it was
credits.
about.
Yeah, he knew it was not just because I would be watching it and he'd be like studying or something. But so the first year we did it, it was literally just based on our Halloween costumes, based on my daughter's curly hair. That's how it all stemmed. 'Cause I'm like, oh, she looks like Billy from Stranger Things.
That's funny.
She should be Billy from Stranger
Yeah.
Things. Oh, then we should dress up like that. And then we're like, maybe we should just decorate our house, and it just like went from there.
Well, the funny thing is, like, okay, once we figured out the outfit for our daughter as far as being Billy the lifeguard, and we started looking for props, and my wife, she sent me this screenshot of this alphabet that was probably 3 by 5 foot big, right?
Yeah.
We'll put it somewhere in the house, and we'll take a photo and those type of things. And me being a dental student, we didn't have a lot of income, and it was probably less than $100.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And I said to myself, like, no way. Like, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right.
Oh.
He's a perfectionist too, so I'll come up with
He's
like
like,
an idea, and then he's like measuring, like the letters of the alphabet wall are exact
Oh, yeah.
replicas. Every drop of a letter is an exact replica of the wall.
Now,
What?
if you haven't seen the show Stranger Things, the alphabet they're talking about is used on the wall with lights running through it, and that's how the people in the Upside Down communicate with.
By lighting up the letters.
Yes,
Right.
it's really crazy, but it's an insane. Look, they're not just talking about like your alphabet on the wall of a kindergarten
How
class.
big is it? Lance, you'll know. How big is that?
It's probably 8 by 16 feet.
Okay, so we're talking large, right in the
Yeah.
front of the house.
Oh, yeah.
When I made it in our basement because it was the only room in the house that was big enough to actually make it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so PVC pipe frame, and then you just like wrap around and screw the fabric there.
Yeah.
And once I got it
Yeah, we had to
all,
find the exact fabric that matched the wallpaper.
Oh yeah.
We
shout
like
out,
these to be exact.
shout out to Joe on Fabric. My wife found
Oh,
it.
there you go.
That's
Right.
amazing.
And once it was done, we got ready to take it up the stairs, right? And then it dawned on me, there's no way this is fitting in the
It's gonna
stairs.
fit.
So we had to
I
cut
don't
it.
even know what we did.
We had to cut it in half.
Oh, to
Shimmy
maneuver
it through the
through.
stairs,
Yep.
and then bring it to the main room, and then sew it back all together.
You have learned some things through this process. To say the least, like you just laughs.
Well, that and then like the first year, it's windy in Daybreak.
I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, a lot of people kept saying tie everything down, and I was
Yeah.
like, they can't be that bad. Oh,
Especially
especially drops
in
flying
October.
down the
Oh,
road.
especially where you guys are located. We know where
Yeah.
you're located. We won't actually say it's because
we won't put
you
your.
can
It's easy
find
to
it.
find though.
It's
Yeah.
easy to find, but we're not gonna do that for you because
Yeah, people
Yes.
can find it.
yeah, but the area you are, it's like a wind tunnel right there already.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
that's I didn't even think
Well,
about that until you said it.
And we'd be sleeping at night during the Halloween month in October,
Uh-huh.
and we wouldn't know if a storm was coming because we would hear this click, 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 click.
No,
click.
it was like whoof, whoof, like the sign on the house was
Like
like that giant thing. The wind would get underneath it, and then it would just slam the house.
I wonder though.
So you guys have had to get creative. Yeah.
I wonder. Do you think that was really? Hold on, stay with me. Do you think that was really Mother Nature, or was that somebody from the Upside Down trying to communicate in some way?
You know, it could be either. Because that year was the most windy it ever was.
Now,
Are they trying to tell us this is like the start of something?
well, let me ask
Hey,
you.
little did you know
Yeah.
how big.
On that note, what do you guys think about the paranormal and that kind of stuff? Are you?
Oh, he thinks I'm like cuckoo because I'm all about it.
But you're not.
I just leave it alone.
Yeah.
I have my favorite medium in Harriman. Like
okay.
she's really amazing. I've sent so many people to her, but oh yeah, I love that stuff.
But he didn't necessarily negate it. He was just like, I don't know.
Not for me, man. Just leave it.
But I like that. I like that attitude.
He's along for
Said,
the
no.
ride, yeah.
But that's a great. It sounds like he's still open to, it's almost like you're in that. I need to see proof, like real,
Yeah.
hardcore proof. But I'm not
maybe
saying.
don't want
That's the doctor. That's the doctor mind.
Yeah.
They're very like.
He's got a scientist
Yeah.
mind, right? Like-
Dentistry. I saw his shirt too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dentistry.
I love
Right.
it.
So you're not necessarily yes or no on that. You're just.
If I think it's real, I think it's there, and if you seek after it, you have to be careful because I feel like there's light part of it, and then there's a dark part, right?
Yes.
And so as long as you're thinking about the light, you should be fine.
But you're all about it.
Oh yeah.
What have you seen? Ever seen anything like in the house? Because I hear about like movie sets.
Listen, she's got to sell this house
Honestly,
one day.
this could be a whole separate podcast. Seriously.
Oh, we'll do it then.
When I was a kid, I went and saw The Sixth Sense in the movie theater,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I literally thought it scared me. I was like, "Did someone make this movie about my life?" That's how like
Oh, wow.
I was very active in that kind of stuff as a kid.
Really?
And so yeah, that movie I was like, this is weird because this felt so personal.
Okay.
And so yeah, I've had a ton of like paranormal
we
experiences.
do need to have that on a whole.
Yeah.
We'll have you back at Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my mom too. We lived in like an actual haunted house in Idaho.
Okay.
Like someone had died, came to the house, and everyone who lived with us had different experiences. Anyway, that's a whole other day.
Now that's going to be a
Yes.
whole other side project, passion project of mine. Because I want a paranormal show,
Yes.
a podcast. I grew up in a haunted house as well, so.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
not
I'm
know
sure.
that.
Oh yeah, my house is over 100 years
I've
old.
always learned something new about you, man, and we've been doing this.
I have seen
Was I in
some-
Tennessee?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen some things.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
once you experience stuff like that, no one can convince you otherwise. Like he hasn't experienced it, but I'm like, I have, and so I know. I know.
Yes.
So the reason I ask is because there's a lot of there's movie sets out there, and you always hear these stories of, well, it's fake set, but real stuff started happening. So that's why I was asking: Does anything crazy happen in the house?
Well, we did have one crazy thing happen. Our most expensive prop was a life-size 3D printed Vecna. It was custom made.
Dang.
It was a couple grand. Yeah, it was.
Woo.
That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy from the show. So
But we felt like we needed him, but we couldn't find like
the right
one. So we had this guy custom make it, paint it, like
so cool.
amazing. That thing, I think he was in the living room for maybe a week, and in the middle of the night, I just hear crash.
No.
And I'm like, I thought we were being robbed. It was the freakiest thing.
It sounded like someone grabbing all of your China dishware and just like throwing it up in the sky.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh! So we're
I thought-
major,
That one.
major noise.
Yeah. And I had no idea what it could be, so I rushed downstairs, and Vecna had
Tumbled.
crashed into the window. Thank goodness the window didn't shatter, but like the wall got all messed up.
Oh my god!
no
Out of
explanation.
nowhere, just like in the middle of the night. So,
Where do you store all this stuff?
That's a great question.
Like
We get that
that's
question
a
a lot.
lot of stuff that you guys have. If you've seen the house, it's a lot.
Where's the broken veterinary?
Yeah, where's that?
So the guy actually did remake it. Or did he remake it? He kind of like
He
fixed
reinforced
it.
it. Yep,
Yeah.
he got it fixed. So
Yeah, he's
thank goodness for that.
and he's stored safely.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even know where he is actually.
Well, for the first 4 years, we had everything in our house.
Okay.
Just somewhere, right?
No one would know. It was very well hidden.
Good.
Down all the beds above our garage
That's a lot of
door,
stuff.
right? It's levitating from the ceiling.
You got creative there too with storage.
And now we have a few extra props, and so as far as keeping our sanity throughout the years, I'm working on creating more storage in the garage. However,
You know how guys are. They're like, the second we need a storage unit, we're done with this. And he always said, like, if we ever get to that point, we're done.
So that's your limit.
This was the year, though, I was like, I'm getting a storage unit. Like, I cannot have all these props.
very temporary, couple months storage unit until I get the sloth bill.
I love it.
Projects.
I love it.
Yeah.
I would be with you. I'd be like, okay, all of this is really cute. It's really great, but it's got to be out of my
Yeah, I'm like,
house.
for me, the peace
Yeah.
of mind knowing it's just like there is worth the money. I mean,
Right.
it's a small little storage unit, but if it's everything and it's just like out of the way.
Because I'm sure it continues to grow. I mean, we've
Yes.
seen it continue to grow.
We feel almost the pressure every year of like stepping the game up.
Do you add, like, as the show has progressed, have you added stuff? Because season 5's coming out before Halloween this year.
Right?
So you guys got to be, can I go? Can I help
Please.
clean this?
Oh, I'm sure they would love extra.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Please.
Is it just the two of you? That's a great
Yeah.
question. No.
Yeah, it's
Just
so
the
much
two
work.
of you put that up, you guys?
He risks his life. I'm like,
Oh my
he'll be up
gosh.
on that roof, harnessed in, because we have a guy up on the
Leather
roof,
harness.
which was also custom made by a lady in Daybreak, and it's my favorite prop that we have because you cannot find that anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's an exact replica of Eddie up on the roof playing the guitar.
Yeah.
But that thing has to be
so cool.
reinforced in the middle of the roof.
You've had the girl floating, too. You've had
Yeah, we've got
On this
her
side.
up there, yeah.
Well, putting Max up is remotely easier than putting up Eddie. Eddie's just a big chunk of plywood.
Right in
And
the center,
as you
right?
shimmy down this 45-degree angle roof, even when you're tethered up, it's like, okay, if my feet slip, I'm letting go of this,
Yeah.
and
I
it's
watch
going
it
to get
like this, like
ruined,
this could end bad.
and it's terrifying.
Considering
I have a very selective fear of heights,
Yeah.
and putting up Eddie,
Eddie is one
it
of
just
those.
it clicks it.
Can I put up 80 this year? I'll come down there and do that. I don't have a fear of heights.
Well, that'd be amazing.
I really am. I'm serious. I would love, after season 5 drops, I think it's what, June or something? It's May, just
Hopefully,
when
yeah.
it's,
Right around the corner. Yeah.
it's coming up. It's before Halloween. I would love to, because I love Stranger Things. I'm a
I know
huge
you
super
do.
fan
I know you are. Yeah.
because I want to help put some of the new stuff that we see in season 5. Check this out. I got a little
He
claim
is so
to.
creative, and so is his wife.
I
So
love
that
that because
creative.
we're always trying to think of things.
Yeah.
We have so many little props that I love, but the people care about the big, like,
What they
did you see that?
there,
Like,
yeah.
the showstoppers.
I'm great at plucking out that stuff because my little claim to fame with Stranger Things is I was at Apple Music when the latest season 4 dropped, and me and my wife we binge watched it overnight. We watched the entire thing, and that's when the Kate Bush song hit.
Oh, yeah.
Running up that hill. Now guess what? I did a whole segment on Apple Music with Strabo. It's out there somewhere. And we pushed this song, and guess what? It went up 17,000% that week.
Wow.
But we picked, and I was like, man, we had to put this song in the air, and sure enough, it's when it took off. It was viral, but I loved picking out. I love pop culture.
You do.
Yeah.
I'll come down.
The soundtrack is amazing.
Oh.
Yeah. We have a record player that just like plays the soundtracks, and I'm like, this is a vibe. Like, I love the 80s. So
Yes, same.
my mom was like, I don't know if I can get into the show, and I'm like, it's all in the
love the
80s.
music.
That alone you'll love.
the
And
opening.
she got hooked.
The opening scene when the kids, I don't even know what was the opening scene, but
That's like
it's
my
so cool. They're in the
childhood.
Ghostbuster outfits. Remember that? Like it was,
Yeah.
I was like,
I was like, this looks like my house.
They're
you
playing
know, all
Dungeons and
those
Dragons in the
80s
basement.
This is like how we grew up.
Yeah.
Well, which is funny too, because a lot
That
of
looks
people,
like my dad. No,
a lot of people ask us like, where do you get these props, right?
Yeah.
Well, a thrift store.
Thrift stores.
That's
Like,
so
That's the best thing. Is like
Yeah.
the first couple of years when he was in dental school, people were like, "Oh, you guys must be so rich," and I'm like, "Half of this stuff is from the DI.
Yeah.
Like we
Cool.
replicated the
Pay 50
living
cents
room.
for that.
Yeah, it's so nice because you can just like channel the 80s.
Yeah.
Do you guys let people donate to you? Like, you ask for
Well,
people?
people donate stuff that's like one person donated like 4 custom Santa Cruz Stranger Things skateboard
I've
decks.
seen those, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Those are
and like
cool.
and people will just give us Stranger Things gifts like Christmas ornaments and stuff like that, but with props they don't really. I don't think they really donated props.
It's really special to watch people just drop off these small little gifts on the door because like it means
so
the world really.
Yeah.
Like they really
It
appreciate.
helps us because as far as setting up,
Yeah.
it takes about 3 weeks
I was
of
gonna ask you
non-stop
that.
setting up.
Yes.
Yeah.
With all the wind and those type of things, if the wind blows on something that's not really secure to the house, it's flying,
Gone.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
And so as far as the initial prep, I have to power wash the entire front of the house.
Oh my.
Because like with all the vines that go out,
Yeah.
those are held on by 3M stickies.
Oh my word.
And if there's any dirt on the house with the 3M stickies, the first storm,
Oh, it's gone.
like all of it's gone.
Yes.
Yeah, everything has to be so much more
Construction
reinforced.
here.
than
It has to be clean. Like these things that you guys have learned, I'm sure, as you've done.
Yeah, a
this.
lot of it has been just like trial and error and hoping it all stays, hoping no one steals it. Which we haven't had we've had a few.
Because there's some theft in you. In,
Yeah,
Daybreak.
we've had a few.
oh, the next time, David, I know who it was.
Yeah.
I know who was out there.
Troublemakers.
People that work for Netflix. They were out there trying to take the
Oh,
stuff
I
down. Yeah. Hey,
We're in trouble now.
No, but seriously, has anybody reached out from Netflix or from the show?
So actually, we do know that there are some main cast members that have seen our house.
Really?
Yeah.
They even talk to you?
Yes.
I'm always like when
Oh,
They
I'll
have
make
to
that.
talk to us,
in
yeah.
October, and I'm like, you
I
have.
will make that. I'll make that. We'll get somebody from that show. Yeah.
2025 is going to be our year. They're all going to show up
I
and,
love-
and just be like, I remember this when we were filming this, and all
We've got like framed pictures of the kids when they like look
Oh.
home.
I will make you this promise. I will get somebody from that show. I will. I got some contacts. I mean, I got out in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I'll make some. Yeah,
Well-
we got to get somebody from the show.
Let's.
I know.
You know what we should do is we should fly them out at Halloween and do an interview
In
with
front of
these
the
guys
house.
back inside or
Let me see who
on the porch.
Let me look at that cast list. I'll find out who. Because
Yeah, there's always
that's
a
how it works.
connection.
There's a 6 degrees of.
Yeah.
There is Comic Con right before.
We just
Well, I think it happens during
We were just
October.
there.
We did FanX. There's got to be somebody from FanX. We're gonna find you somebody. I promise you. We'll be at FanX again. We haven't even announced that because
Yep.
who would care?
There
at
you
this
go.
point?
Surprise.
Who would care at this point if it's not till
Yeah,
September
right,
or August or whatever? But yeah, I thought people had been to your house. Like, that's gotta happen.
Yeah.
It's been too long. If they've seen it, they gotta come see it in person. I will. Yeah, I'll go. We'll get somebody.
So good.
I'm gonna get somebody for you.
I did have one video. One year, people were showing up like crazy. I mean, like thousands
Yeah.
a night. And I'm like, where are all these people coming from?
Yeah.
And they would all say, TikTok, TikTok. And there was a few like big TikTokers that did that came and filmed. But then I realized it was actually coming from one of my videos.
Yeah.
It was like going viral, and I'm like, oh, this video is really popping off. And then everyone decided, I think Noah, like who plays Will, was like really active on TikTok at the time. So everyone was like, tag Noah, tag Noah.
Oh,
so he was tagged like 100,000 times.
Sorry about
he's
that.
had to have seen it by now. But
We're gonna. I'm serious.
How can we
Promise
help?
we'll get
So,
someone here.
Daybreak, if you don't know, for those listeners, tuning in, if you don't know, Halloween. Halloween is massive. I was trying to tell, Blaine that, and that's why we ended up doing Radio Daybreak. Our very first episode was us going out at Halloween and showing him around.
Yeah.
But how do they get involved? What do you guys need help with?
Yeah.
Is it setup? Is it monetary? Is it how can the community help?
Security.
yeah, it's great. Like our whole street.
Yes.
It used to be just us.
Yeah.
Shout out the whole street.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It used to be just us, and then our neighbors were like, okay, this is actually becoming a thing.
Yeah.
So then the next year, a couple more people decided to decorate, and now it's like our entire street, and everyone on our street goes all out.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
it's not just
they're
the block
amazing.
part in the street. Now it's like spreading over to
See.
other blocks.
Yes.
North,
Like,
south,
street
east, west,
down.
everywhere.
Did they start the Barbie house, the Barbie land? I think these guys started it.
Maybe because they didn't pop up till.
This is the trend.
Yeah,
years
they
ago.
did. They did that. I think
trendsetter.
2 years ago, and our street kind of started going crazy.
I got a favorite. I got a selfish favorite on your street. I like the Villains house. There's a Villains or something that's near
Yeah.
your house.
Well, that
All the-
one that's all the 80s serial killers.
That's the one.
our neighbor across
Right
the street.
across the street.
Michael Myers is over there.
Yeah. You know what's
All
so
of-
funny? He started realizing okay, our street is becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And so he went to Spirit Halloween and bought every single animatronic at
That's
once.
hilarious.
Like a big truck shows up, and he's like, "We're doing
He had a
this."
spirit truck delivered.
Yeah.
Now, but that you know what? This is a lot for Daybreak and the people here because there's other neighbors that might have got mad, but not the people in the street. They were like, no. You know what? We're not gonna get mad. We're gonna just join up
Just
and
gonna join in.
make
And
this
they
a
all
thing.
love it. Like
So
one of our
fun.
neighbors, her brother's like a big time DJ in Provo.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he'll come out and he'll play set in front of their house.
I've seen it.
So they've got the
Cool.
dance party going on, and it just it's fun.
I was out there. I was out there with an orange cup,
Oh, you were?
Oh, we were in
That
park
was
straight
2
dance
years
that
ago
year.
or last year.
It was a
We've
stop
done
on
it 2
the
times in
Yeah.
2 years now.
Tipsy Tree or something. It was on the list.
Yeah.
For the whole block.
And I think something really special about our street specifically is a lot of people are going above and beyond. And the best part about it is every single homeowner is doing their own thing.
Yeah.
No one's hiring out on our street.
Yeah,
They
that's
are
huge.
specifically putting in the grind.
This
Like,
is authentic.
Does anybody
real
coordinate?
stuff.
Does anybody? I would like to see if you guys all came together and did.
We've talked about it. We've talked about coordinating for Christmas too, our whole street, having the lights
Yeah.
and stuff. Because all of our neighbors, they are the coolest people.
That's awesome.
What if
Yeah, we've gotten
you
lucky.
should talk to one of the neighbors after season 5? See what happens in season 5, and then maybe take over their entire house, and maybe you guys.
Well, we're really close with our neighbors. That's how we met you guys.
Yeah.
And they would 100% be down to do something together.
I'm trying.
Vines are growing.
I'm trying to make
They
this
probably
thing.
prefer it because then they'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, now we don't have to think. They usually do something new every year.
Yeah.
And they'd probably be like, oh, great, we don't have to.
Okay, we're locked in. The Starlings got us locked in. to
I
this
would.
theme.
I think that would be incredible.
People are always like, my street had 2 kids. How can I get more? And I say, be that person. You do it, and
Decorate.
it will spread.
Have fun. Show that you want people at your door.
Yeah,
Like,
be
that's-
one of the houses that
I love
goes
that.
viral because they do.
Yes.
And then your neighbors will join in, and you'll become.
Look.
But she's right. I love it
Map.
when people are like, "Oh, you had 2 kids." Well, did you have decorations up? Well, cool.
Yeah. And even if you're only one house on your street that's gone all out, you will get kids because if you're on the map,
Yeah.
they'll come.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That
then,
is
and then
so
everyone kind of
incredible.
follows.
Does everybody in Daybreak, do they love it?
I think
Say
so.
so.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I don't
huge.
know. I'm trying to think. I mean, there has been controversy in the past.
yeah, but you get controversy
Well,
with anything. Let's just
yeah.
say that. I mean,
Well, even you,
When we tried to close the street, that's the biggest controversy that there is. Which I'm like, we're just trying to keep the kids safe.
and that,
You know.
Well, you've seen that picture, and if you haven't, jump online, check out the picture. I mean, there were thousands of kids, people, I mean, adults too.
It was
really.
all too.
All in front of that house.
Yeah.
Was that you that took the video from?
Yeah,
Your
he
house?
loves that. He'll
Yeah.
go up in the window. He's always in character. So he'll be in full character and he'll go up in the window and it's like a concert. They're all screaming like, he's up there. And then he'll throw candy out at him.
That's
That
incredible.
was so cool. Have you seen that video?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's
I'm
awesome.
glad to see that video.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and he'll just be
Is
like,
it getting old for you? I mean, we've talked about all the excitement. Is it hard each year that you're still doing this, or do you still get that same excitement?
I think what happens is when we first start setting up, the first day or two, we're like really antsy to do it. But then
Yeah.
after a week of like getting it up,
Getting it
like,
done.
oh, why do we do this? It's so hard.
yeah.
And
I mean,
then-
it's just the two, and we've got kids, so it's like juggling
Oh,
the
yeah.
kids
Yeah.
and work, and it's like any spare moment we had is setting up.
Well, you guys just need some volunteers.
Yeah.
Well, and what happens is the first weekend of people coming and checking it out,
Yeah.
and as we're still setting up and seeing their excitement, is like, okay, now I know why I do this.
Yeah, there you go.
Got it.
It pays off for
But
sure.
would volunteers, would that be a help for you? Because you
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
have some grunt work that needs to
I
be
always
done.
tell them, I'm like, we need to find people that
People will do it, I
can
guarantee
help
you.
us out.
If
When
you're-
do you
look,
start?
Hold on,
And
hold
how
on.
can we help? You've
If
got a
if you guys won't ask, I will. I'll beg people. I'll be get down there.
We don't need to beg.
No,
people
people
would be
show
so
up.
excited.
They would
if-
love to come help.
It just needs maybe some organization that we could put the help put the word out.
Ask
Y'all
people.
listening to this?
What were you gonna
Reach
say?
out to us. I was
Yeah.
just saying, how can we? Same thing. We were on the same trend there of how can we get them some
We need
help.
to get the grunt work out so that you guys can just focus on the creative.
There was one year I was 9 months pregnant in October, and I was like trying to climb the little step ladder to have things, and he
Oh.
was like, absolutely
I'm
not.
doing that.
But I'm like, this
Like,
is teamwork.
yeah,
We got to get it done.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a baby on October 28th, so she was 3 days old on Halloween.
With thousands of people in
We
the
got
door.
4,000 people out front.
my
Not realizing we have this
God.
tiny little baby inside.
What?
It was chaotic.
Oh my
Yeah.
word! So she's one now.
Yeah.
Your baby's one.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your kids, unless you had more questions about that. I want to learn more about you guys. Because you've got
So yeah, we've got 3 girls. Our first 2 are a year and a half apart.
Okay.
So we basically had 2 babies, and then we had a big gap, and then now we have our 1-year-old girl.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah, they're busy.
They do all this with 3 littles.
That's insane. How long have you guys been in Daybreak as a family here?
We moved here 2019,
Okay.
right before I started dental school in August.
Nice.
Pre-pandemic,
Yeah,
right before that
Ah,
chaos
right.
hit.
that was
Yeah.
that was weird.
Look, I think we moved in at the best
Did you
time.
come from
But
Idaho?
what a time to go to dentistry with.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's a
open
whole,
mouth was a-
that's a whole other thing because he actually, it was a really funny sequence of events, but he ended up being class president in 2019 to 2020. So he was class president at his dental school during the pandemic when they were all sent home. They were in California, Hawaii, Canada, all their homes.
Wow.
On like emailing him, upset about the schooling, and it was just a lot of crazy stuff.
It was pretty.
Are you a
crazy.
you're a dentist now?
I'm
He
a
is a
dentist now.
dentist. Yeah, he works at Burke Pediatric Dentistry, right? Is
Here in
the
Daybreak,
correct
yeah.
word?
Well, cheap
Correct title?
Bird Children's Dentistry, but yes.
Cheap
Children's
plug for the BNI.
What's that?
Cheap plug for the BNI.
I know.
You got to get out to the BNI every Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. at the DCC. We need a dentist.
We do need a dentist.
We need a dentist right now at our BNI. That chair be open.
Or is it for kids or what?
Any
Business, networking, international.
Oh,
so yeah, all that.
Well,
We're
good.
also part of Daybreak Business Community, where we are essentially networking, referrals, and helping to grow and
Local
get the word
business,
out for
support-
local businesses. Yeah.
support local businesses, local families like
Yeah.
you guys right here. Do you want to make that announcement about?
Which one? Oh, the magazine?
Yeah.
Oh, well, should we make the announcement here? These two are
I
going
was
to be
talking
on-
about families, so
That's true.
this
that's
is your
true.
family of the.
This is the family of the quarter. So
Quarter.
the magazines are coming out quarterly. So big announcement. Daybreak Vibes magazine. First issue is hitting in March, and you guys are on the cover. So thank you
It's
for
awesome.
doing that.
I love it.
We're so excited.
I'm
to have
so
you.
excited to see it. I saw like a proof of a proof.
Yes,
Maybe I don't know if
you
it's
did.
changed
You
since.
saw a really
but
early
It looks
version.
really cool.
Yeah.
But that's going to have some more insider information about.
It will. It'll have a little feature section with these two, and you'll get to see their cute kids on the cover as well, and talk a little bit about them and their
Okay,
family.
so he's a dentist.
That's right. Right here in Daybreak.
And what about you? Are you a
I'm
full-time?
an esthetician. So while he was in dental school, I did eyelashes to kind of get him through. And then it all worked out great. 'Cause then I got pregnant.
Yep.
He graduated, and I retired for the time being.
Nice.
Yeah, because it was like, well, I mean, it's not worth getting a
Juggling
nanny
it
at this
all.
point.
Yeah.
I miss it because I miss like just connecting. I had a lot of Daybreak clients, and
Sure.
it was fun.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm like, I'll just stay with the baby.
Yes.
And he's doing his thing.
And your oldest is how old now?
She just turned 8.
Okay.
So we've got an 8-year-old,
handful.
6-year-old, and then
A little 1-year-old. Oh my word.
That's incredible. So they're going to be on
Yeah.
the magazine.
Yes, they're going
That's
to be on the
gonna be-
magazine.
I can't wait to see that.
well, you know, it is a testament to Daybreak because we moved here just for dental school, and our entire plan was like he graduates and we move, and all of his
yeah,
classmates.
good
He had 100 classmates. They all went.
Yeah.
They found North Carolina, South. Where's the money?
Yeah.
They followed it.
Yeah.
So everyone was assuming we would.
You're out.
We were going to be out. Like
Yeah.
everyone was out. And we just love Daybreak. We love our neighbors.
Yeah.
We're like, what if we don't find this somewhere else? Like, yeah, the money might be great on the East Coast,
Yeah.
but will we love our neighbors so much?
Yeah.
And so it was worth it for us to stay.
To stay.
Yeah, which
It's-
I think a lot of his classmates were like, you guys are.
Can you imagine
Crazy.
you guys sell your house and then they don't continue that tradition? You
I
better
think
tell
that
the
would
new
be-
owners.
Well,
I said.
The
Oh,
first
no,
setup
no.
is free
Yes.
with the house, and I'll
Like
do
it's
that.
included.
But
We
then
would
everything else
actually
is-
market it as you're buying the Stranger Things house, and you. This
And the props. Here's your stuff. Here's your stuff to go with it. I love it.
Or,
We would charge an extra $100,000
To not
to do
have
the
to
Stranger Things house.
or because there's different models of
Yeah.
homes here in Daybreak. If the person who buys the house doesn't want to set it up, if you have the same floor plan, let us know.
And then here you
ship the
go.
house over.
You've now inherited
We
this.
will
Yeah.
migrate it over to your
Here's
place.
this, and thousands of people will come around with it. So I love that.
Yeah. No.
I don't have any more questions because we're going to be talking to them more.
Yes, we're going to have you back, Nikki, and talk to you.
I think she needs her own podcast.
Oh my. You know what? I used to want to start a podcast because my lash clients would tell me the craziest,
See?
deepest, darkest stories, and I'm like, I need to record this because this is like crazy stuff
It's
that
like
no one
therapy
would believe.
session.
Oh, it was therapy.
Lashes that
They would be
I
like,
get them.
oh my gosh, I just told you more than I'd ever told my own therapist.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
All
need
right, save those
podcasts.
stories. Don't give any more away. That's going to be. I think you really will. I think we should get you
They're
something
so
going. 'Cause-
fun. Well, just even their family with Lance, I'm sure too.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
And they're easy.
I'm bored.
No.
No way.
No.
I just do airplane glasses on the kids' faces and
Oh,
then
so
remove
fun.
cavities. That's
They
all.
wear
it's great.
capes over there. We'll have to go
Yeah.
do a podcast over there too.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
I love it. Let's do
It's
that.
so cute.
Yeah,
Appreciate
he
you
brought,
guys,
you know,
yeah.
he always wanted to work with kids, and I thought he was crazy. In dental school, he would be like, I feel a pull to work with kids, and I'm like, you're nuts.
That's incredible.
And then
Well-
he applied at Berg, and they were like, we want a dentist that lives in Daybreak, that's
Yeah.
part of the community. And it was like all the stars aligned, and it was kids, and like exactly
Well,
what
the best-
it was meant to be.
Dentistry is great, but the best form of dentistry is with kids.
Yeah.
You know,
I
because
feel like no one else would agree with that.
No,
other
no,
dentists would
100%.
agree with
Because
that.
what happens is kids
There's
have bad
the-
experiences, and then they become adults, and then they become bad patients.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
you get them loving the dentist, you get them loving getting their teeth cleaned when they're young, and that just changes their life.
I'm a retired nurse and I worked in peds for 5 years, so I agree with you. We won't say anything about the parents of the kids, but the kids
Yeah.
are absolutely
Yeah, we talk
adorable.
about them.
Oh, man.
No, I'm teasing. I'm going to get us in trouble. So.
Well, we appreciate Nikki and Lance, the Starling family.
Thank you,
Going to
guys.
be able to cover the Daybreak
Daybreak
Vibes
Vibes
magazine.
magazine.
With a
Yes.
story, got their family in there. Make sure you check that thing out.
Yes.
Make sure you check out Nikki's podcast coming out soon.
Oh my.
But we appreciate you guys coming in and doing this. And we appreciate what you've done for Daybreak. Like, it really is.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
It's
And-
worth it.
I don't have a lot of opportunities to say this, and
Yeah.
whenever I do, I have to. Okay, so if there's one tidbit of free information I can give parents and their kids as far as dentistry goes,
Yes.
the number one thing is make sure you're flossing your kids' teeth.
There you go.
I know it sounds silly, but a 3-year-old can get flossing related cavities, which can start a negative experience going to the dentist, right? So kid-sized flossers, get them on Amazon. Just make sure you floss their kids' teeth.
There you go. There's your PSA. There it is.
Hey, I love this. And
Free advice.
we'll just tie this together. I think it's so ironic that they have the Halloween house, the number one candy,
Give me that.
with the dentist, right? The connection there. You give
I'm like, should we give him a sucker with toothpaste?
Or a business card with a candy.
There's an idea.
Oh,
Hey,
We've already tapped into that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
well, thank you again.
Thank
Thanks.
you.